Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, Part 2. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We now examine what has been going on in the last 6 years between Jolie and Pitt, which has caused such an acrimonious relationship between the two of them. In September 2016, Jolie filed for divorce after just 2 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. Was this a disengagement by her, or was she a victim of such poor behaviour that she felt she had no choice but to escape? She requested sole physical custody of their 6 children. The decision was made for the health of the family, her representative told US Weekly in a statement at the time. Also in the same month, an altercation on the duo's private jet led to a child abuse investigation into Pitt. He got drunk and was fighting with Angelina. A source claimed Maddox stepped in to defend Angie and got in Brad's face. Pitt was cleared of the allegations in November 2016. Pitt and Jolie reached a temporary custody agreement also in September 2016, 1 week after their separation. Jolie received full physical custody, whilst Pitt was granted visitation rights. They were both ordered to undergo individual counselling as well as attend family counselling with their children. He was subjected to random drug and alcohol testing at the time, too. This requirement for such testing, does that suggest a problem with regard to the use of drugs and alcohol, and might that suggest an abrogation of responsibility and accountability by engaging in such behaviours? We shall see. In November 2016, Pitt sought joint physical and legal custody of the children in his response to Jolie's divorce filing. While Maddox initially refused to see his father, they reunited in October 2016, as their relationship remained strained. What's behind the straining of this relationship? Might it be the behaviours of Pitt have been less than perfect, causing his son to respond in such a way? Or might it be that Maddox has been unduly influenced? Might it be that it has received poisonous whisperings in his ears that has caused him to take against his father? This, of course, is far from unknown in the dynamic where a narcissist is involved. In February 2017, Jolie opened up about the divorce in a BBC interview. "I don't want to say very much about the incident, except to say that it was a very difficult time. We are a family, and will always be a family," she said. "And we'll get through this time and hopefully be a stronger family for it." In March 2017, it was confirmed that Jolie and Pitt were speaking again after their split. They are in a place where they can put anger or hurt aside to focus on their children and how they plan to co-parent, a source revealed, while another insider added they are only speaking about the kids but have agreed that the kids' best interest comes first and that they will be civil to one another. Might this be the appearance of emotional empathy for one another and their children after a rocky start caused by the split? Or is somebody engaging in facade management? Perhaps both. In May 2017, Pitt talked about the aftermath of the split. He explained, "I was really on my back and chained to a system when child services was called." He admitted to GQ style. "And you know, after that, we've been able to work together to sort this out. We're both doing our best." I heard one lawyer say, "No one wins in court. It's just a matter of who gets hurt worse." And it seems to be true. You spend a year just focused on building a case to prove your point and why you're right and why they're wrong. And it's just an investment in vitriolic hatred. Is this a fair observation from an empathic individual, or, given the fact that the court action has rumbled on for years afterwards, is this an exhibition perhaps of hypocrisy? We shall see. Pitt also said at the time, "Fortunately, my partner in this agrees. It's just very, very jarring for the kids to suddenly have their family ripped apart. If anyone can make sense of it, we have to with great care and delicacy, building everything around that. Our focus is that everyone comes out stronger and better people. There is no other outcome. I see it happen to friends. I see where the one spouse literally can't tell their own part in it, and it's still competing with the other in some way and wants to destroy them and needs vindication by destruction, and just wasting years on that hatred. I don't want to live that way. Is this a manifestation of emotional empathy, the demonstration of accountability, or might this just be very clever facade management, where an individual is able to identify the behaviours in others, but not in themselves? In June 2018, Pitt and Jolie reached a temporary custody agreement for summer 2018 after the court decided that not having a relationship with their father would be harmful to the children. The court determined the kids are safe with their father too. Maddox, due to his age, was free to stay with either parent. In August 2018, Jolie's attorney claimed in a filing that Pitt had paid no meaningful child support since separation, as of August 2018. In response, Pitt's lawyer noted that he adamantly disputes the contention that he has not paid significant child support. Pitt has previously loaned Jolie $8 million to assist her in purchasing her current residence, and has paid over $1.3 million in bills for the benefit of Jolie and the minor children. Who is right? Is somebody revising history? Is somebody telling lies? Is somebody throwing mud? But if so, who? In November 2018, the estranged duo avoided going to trial over custody by reaching a new agreement. Brad and Angelina will have joint physical and legal custody of the children, a source close to Pitt explained at the time. Over a period of the next 6 to 8 weeks, the monitored visits will come to a conclusion. The children will immediately begin to have overnight visits with their father. So 2 years after the divorce, and the issues with regard to the children have still not been fully resolved. In April 2019, Jolie and Pitt filed for a bifurcated judgment, which means they were deemed legally single through their divorce, though their divorce continued. In June 2019, it was reported that Brad was enjoying spending more time with the kids, and things have been improving with the 4 younger kids. Brad and Angie have been co-parenting, utilising Our Family Wizard, which has probably been one of the most beneficial tools for their family in terms of keeping things moving forward in the best amicable terms possible. Once Brad and Angie began using the platform, it allowed them to coordinate the kids' schedules. They have very busy lives. Might it be that the fallings out with regard to the arrangements of the children have solely been as a consequence of the hectic lives that they lead? Or is there something deeper and darker driving the contentions? In October 2019, the French chateau where they wed caused more problems in the divorce settlement. The sticking point is the value of Miraval, a source explained. Angelina wants to be awarded the property as hers entirely because it was her idea to purchase the property to begin with. However, Pitt believed he'd been more than generous with other financial elements. Is this the exhibition of a sense of entitlement occurring? Or is this quite simply somebody else not being accountable with regard to the financial settlements? In November 2019, Jolie admitted to Harper's Bazaar that she would love to live abroad and will do so as soon as my children are 18, because at the moment she was having to base where their father chooses to live. Is this perhaps a pity play? Is this some form of future threat that is being utilised? Or is it a reaction of a fair individual who is being controlled by the decisions of the father? According to an insider, Pitt doesn't want them living in another country where he'd never get to see them unless he flew there. On the other hand, the director would like to move around Europe, Asia, Africa. In May 2020, the exes seem to be on good terms. Things between Brad and Angelina are better than they have been, a source said. They're more cordial. They're aiming towards resolutions that work for each of them. Is this again the return of emotional empathy, which had previously been eroded by the ongoing situation, hectic lives and court proceedings, or is it quite simply that it suited one or both of them to behave in a more cordial fashion in order to assert control and draw fuel? By July 2020, it was reported that their legal proceedings were slowed down by the COVID-19 pandemic. They are continuing regular visits, but there has not been a lot of progress in terms of resolving anything, an insider mentioned, as Pitt was spotted visiting the children at Jolie's home. Is the fact that lack of progress, was it purely down to the COVID-19 pandemic? Surely 2 reasonable individuals would be able to reach an accommodation with one another. Is it the case that this is two narcissists colliding whereby they are not able to agree to anything for a long period of time because of the fluctuating need for control? Or is it that one is calling the shots, asserting control over the other, and the other has had enough fighting back? By August 2020, Jolie requested to disqualify the judge in their custody trial. Unfortunately, the individuals hurt most by Jolie's transparently tactical gambit are the party's own children, who continue to be deprived of a final resolution to these custody issues, Pitt's lawyers said in court documents. Brad says Angelina has gone way too far this time, a source revealed. He's left with no other option but to dig in and fight back hard. However, Jolie's lawyer stated, "All my client is asking for is a fair trial based on facts, with no special favours extended to either side." Niyama Ramani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, added that the tourist actress believed the judge handling the proceedings was biased in Brad's favour due to their personal collections. In court documents, Jolie's attorney went so far as to accuse Pitt's legal team of going behind her back to cover up judicial bias. Is this evidence of paranoia, or is it a justifiable accusation? To believe that the judge is biased is quite common amongst narcissists, driven by the paranoia that since the narcissist is not getting their own way, then it has to be somebody else's fault: an incompetent attorney, a biased judge, fabricated evidence, an awkward opponent. Or perhaps this is correct, that there was bias, and all she's doing is protecting her position. Might it be driven by her paranoia and be a further step done to slow down the proceedings, to enable her to assert control over Pitt? And is Pitt's response that of somebody who has his own sense of control threatened, or is it quite simply, as stated by his attorney, he had no option other than to dig in and fight back? We'll continue the examination of the background to the dispute between these two, culminating in part 3. Join me there.